To call the Paramedic Services Committee to order and welcome all those that are watching by webcast. I would ask if there is a declaration of pecuniary interest that you declare it now or at the appropriate time. Seeing none, we only have one report today, and that's the performance plan report for information. So Charlie and Ray is here as well. So I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I would just say thank you very much for entertaining our committee today, and I'm going to just defer everything to Chief Ray in regard to any comment on this information report, please.
Okay, thank you. I believe you've seen these reports for the past 5-6 years at least. Every year we're required to submit our CTAS performance plan to the ministry before the end of March. So that's what this report is about. We've got 6 criteria we need to report on, and they're all based on the CTAS scores that we have. So just very briefly, CTAS SCA is sudden cardiac arrest. Those are obviously our most serious patients. CTAS 1s require resuscitation, and then they go down from there to CTAS 5 being very non-urgent calls. So we need to report the percentage of times that an ambulance is able to respond to these calls. CTAS SCA, the ministry requires report the number of times we get there in less than 6 minutes. Now we can only report on the number of times that an ambulance can get there. They would like that we are able to report the number of times that anybody arrives, but it's very difficult to get some of that data. So the percentage of times that an ambulance has been able to respond to sudden cardiac arrest patients within 6 minutes is 26%. The next one we need to report is the percentage of times that an ambulance crew arrived to provide sudden cardiac arrest patients or CTAS 1, which are the life-threatening resuscitative sort of patients, within 8 minutes. And for those, averaging those two out with the graphs that we have, I've shown you there, 38.7% that were able to respond in 8 minutes or less. And then the third one that we need to report is the number of times for CTAS 2, 3, 4, and 5, and that's within the response time targets that we have set by the municipality. And we review that annually as well and report that to the ministry for October. Typically we bring a report to you in September of each year on that. So the number of times we've arrived for CTAS 2 patients in under 10 minutes was 53.7%. CTAS 3 patients in under 15 minutes was 70.9%. CTAS 4 in less than 20 minutes, 86%, and CTAS 5 in 25 minutes is 92.9%. Are there any questions basically on those numbers?
Okay. Thanks, Ray. Are there any questions? Paul?
Very interesting numbers, Ray. So this performance measures chart that you have here on the actual times versus your target, so I assume that's on a 12-month window, and I'm just wondering, like, if we pick a January versus July, what would those actuals look like versus target?
That's one I can break down. This one is for the whole year of 2016 because the report was to report on the entire year for 2016. But those are ones that we can bring back on a more regular basis. I believe in September I did bring it for the first 6 months, but I didn't summarize it again for the final 6 months. But if it's something that you would like, we can definitely report those numbers on a more regular basis.
Well, I don't think my intention was to create you more work to see it on the first 6 months versus I guess I was wanting to see how the actual percentages change in our winter weather versus our summer weather with the road conditions.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's something I can use. Honestly, it is not a very difficult report. It's easy to pull just do it month by month. So that is something I can do. And it is something we're working on right now, looking at all our response times by month and everything as well. So by all means, I can bring a report back that shows the different CTAS response times by month for summer and winter.
Okay, thanks, Ray. Any other questions? Yes, Robert.
Does each station keep track of these response times, each station?
Again, it's something we can pull out of our data. We can pull it by the station or by the responding area. This includes the entire county.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. But like I was just wondering, up in the Bruce Peninsula, the travel distances is a lot more than down here, is that correct?
It is. So our
So
response
that-
times are a little slower up north because of the travel distance. And then weather can play a factor in that as well. It's one of those tricky things, though, to pull out, because when we have looked at some of the data, the winter weather slows us down, but in the summer when we're busier and other ambulances, they may be coming from a longer distance as well. So then it almost averages out the actual response time.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? If not, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Ray.
much, Mr. Chair.
And, Charlie, our next meeting scheduled for April the 6th, 2017. And I need a motion to adjourn. Ann and Mitch, all in favor?